friends, Roy Haynes here with Lifetime. On this channel I like to share my take on life and on the times that we're in. I have a couple of things that I'd like to share today. First, this is the anniversary of anniversary day for me. On this day in 1985, the Lord told me that He wanted me to sing for Him. I found myself in all of a sudden in a little conversation. A voice is spoken inside and said, "I want you to sing for me." And I had responded, "But I can't do that. I haven't got the talent." And then the voice spoke and said, "Who makes mouths?" And I said, "Okay." So I got a guitar and started to learn, and let me tell you, it's been a long process. That's 35 years ago to get me to this point anyway. And then 6 days after 2001, or after 9/11 in 2001, that voice whispered in my head, "Tell my people I'm coming." It's pretty easy to tell that that was accurate, because so many people are expecting the very soon return of Jesus. I start doing this and they start mowing. Isn't that interesting? And they're getting closer and closer, and we'll see. Anyway, the second thing to share relates to my devotional this morning. I read John 1:35 through 51. I read of Andrew and Philip, who had met Jesus, spent a day with him, and then both of them went out to find other people. Andrew found his brother Peter, told him they found the Christ. Philip told Nathanael and brought him to Jesus. Now there's a woman named Brenda Weltner. She's a very studied woman as far as Bible study, and she has a timeline for Revelation. I really hope it's correct, but it kind of would surprise me, because we all tend to have our own timelines for what's going to happen in the future, and rarely do we get it right. But anyway, if she is right in her timeline, all of us who know Jesus is going to be out telling other people about what's happening and what's happening to us starting tomorrow. Brenda believes that there are 3 raptures, or 3 times where people are caught up to heaven without dying. She believes it's the 3rd rapture, 3rd catching up, that no one knows the day or the hour. That's near the end of the 7 years. In fact, she believes that we are in the 7 years, and they started back, I think March 17th, or March something, 2017, where there was a Revelation 12 sign in the heavens. And anyway, she believes that this 3rd one is the one that what Jesus was referring to, where He said no one knows the day or the hour. That's where Jesus, where in Revelation we find Jesus sitting on a cloud with a sharp sickle, and out of the temple comes an angel, and this angel says, "It's time, swing your sickle," basically, and Jesus does that and harvests the earth. And that's a catching up right there. See, He didn't know the time. He was waiting for someone to tell Him when that would be. Just not too long before that, in the future, would be the 2nd rapture number 2, and she says that's where the 2 witnesses are caught up to heaven, and the 144,000 who are marked will be taken up at that time. She believes that the Day of Atonement, September 28th of this year, the first rapture will occur. One thing that Brenda believes is that the things that Jesus did are the things that we will do too. Between the time Jesus raised from the dead and the time he was caught up to heaven, he was about 50 days. During that time, Jesus made many appearances to various people and gave many proofs that he was alive, that he had indeed risen from the dead. Brenda believes that we will do the same thing. According to her studies of Revelation, the dead in Christ will rise on the Feast of Trumpets tomorrow. Imagine that. And that we will be changed, in that twinkling of an eye. And that our bodies will be glorified. We will have bodies like Jesus had after he resurrected from the dead. I mean, he was able to eat, but he was also able to appear in rooms with locked doors. She believes that during the 10 days between tomorrow's Feast of Trumpets and the Day of Atonement, that we will go out, just like Jesus did, and tell others what's going on, and tell them what is going to come, just like Andrew and Philip did when they saw Jesus. They went out and told others. Now, personally, I would say she's probably going to be disappointed, but I really hope that she's not. I really hope she's right. Imagine if she's right. I can see myself going to people who know me and telling them about what's happened and what is about to happen. Now, from two reliable sources, reliable to me anyway, my great-grandfather, Nathan Perry, he had many visions. In his last 2 weeks, he was kind of hovering between heaven and earth. And he had many visions, gave many messages, talked about the things that he saw. And one of the things he says is that people aren't old in heaven. People are young. And also, there was the boy who, up in Imperial, Nebraska, who had an appendix operation, and during that time, he had a ruptured appendix. And during that time, he went to heaven and saw Jesus, and he confirmed the same thing. There's no old people there, there's just young people, young-looking people. Now, to me, the hardest thing would be to convince people that it was really me talking with them. My 25-year-old self looks a lot different than I do now. Now, as I was driving back to school yesterday, I suddenly thought of what this would mean for my father-in-law. He has dementia, Alzheimer's, he's blind, he's growing weak. Suddenly, he could stand erect with a perfectly clear mind and perfect vision. He is no longer in his 80s, he would look to be in his 20s. He stands straight and strong. What a story he would have to share about with those that he cares about. So what would your story be? Who will you share it with? I really do hope that Brenda has got it right. Don't you? I'd like to close with the song, Tell My People. I wrote this clear back in 2002. Tell my people I am coming. Tell my people I am near. Let them come with joy to greet me. Tell my people not to fear. Tell my people to be ready. Tell them to love from the heart. Tell my people, tell them today. Tell them Jesus is coming. Tell my people that I love them. Tell them to come near. Tell my people I come for them. Tell my people they are dear. Tell my people to be ready. Tell them to love from the heart. Tell my people, tell them today. Tell them Jesus is coming. Tell my people darkness comes for those who won't serve me. Tell my people to give their lives so others will see. Tell my people to be ready. Tell them to love from the heart. Tell my people, tell them today. Tell them Jesus is coming. All my people be ready. Love with all your heart. I want you to know today. Know that I am coming. I want you to know today. Know that I am coming. Know that I am coming. Know that Jesus is coming. Jesus is coming.